So this is a Baroque clarinet, and it's only got 2 keys. I'm sorry that I'm holding them on with elastic bands, but such is life sometimes. You hold it just with your thumb, and the reed is titchy, tiny weeny reed. I've just cut one up to make do today, and as you can see, the mouthpiece is very tiny too. And in fact, as the Baroque clarinet developed, they made this bigger and wider to help with its development and sound getting louder. And indeed, that also happened to the bell too. That became more flared as time went on. But this is quite an early copy. So we begin our Baroque clarinet chalumeau off. Who is going to be the winner? I certainly know which one I think it is, but I'm not going to try and put that on to you. Let's see what they can both do. The baby chalumeau. They went along in history kind of about the same time, although the chalumeau was the first there, but they were both really improved, and this one was invented by the Denners, the Denner family. They put on these 2 keys, the speaker key, and gave some extra notes to the chalumeaus. There was more music, I think, written for the chalumeau than the Baroque clarinet, although composers like Vivaldi and Handel, they did write for both instruments, but the instruments have very, very different functions. You have heard a little bit of the Baroque clarinet playing. You had people like Mr. Charles the Hungarian, who came to Dublin and did a performance of the Molter clarinet concerto back in the early 1700s. And probably Mr. Handel heard him during that time, and that's why he wrote his piece for 2 Baroque clarinets and corno da caccia, the French horn in F. And probably also Handel heard the military bands that had lots of these Baroque clarinets in them in France and England during this time. And maybe in that trio that you heard, maybe he even wanted a whole army of Baroque clarinets playing on each part. But the chalumeau likes to live within its own family of chalumeaus in its little packs. You get this smallest one, and then the next size up, and the biggest one, the bass chalumeau. What else can I say? Oh, I need to tell you a little bit about the Molter clarinet concertos, because they are, in fact, our very first pieces written for the Baroque clarinet. But for a long time, we didn't realise they were written for the clarinet. We thought they were written for trumpet. Who'd have thought it? Because I suppose they sound very trumpety, very high, very loud. But no, they're ours. And actually they sound magnificent on this instrument, don't they? I'm really quite glad that trumpet players also played the Baroque clarinet over history, because they would see a piece of music written by a composer and think, oh dear, that's going to be such a lot of effort to play on a trumpet. It's so high, it's so loud, it's so running around the place, so many notes. Do you know what? I'm going to get out the mock trumpet, the Baroque clarinet, and it'll be so much easier to play. And it was. So well done, trumpet players out there, for enjoying playing our instrument too. It doesn't go both ways though, we can't play the trumpet. The Baroque clarinet was attacked on its first performance. There are, in fact, sadly, some notes missing on the Baroque clarinet, and the poor note B didn't exist. In the 16th century, there was a big trend of using witch's hair to bring out the particular characteristics of the music when tying on the reed. So it wouldn't have been, as you can see here, my elastic band. The first players of the Baroque clarinet were in fact trumpet players because they found it much easier to play the fast high notes on this little creature. Members of the longbow regiment injured at the Battle of Agincourt were transitioned into using the Baroque clarinet as a blowpipe in order to continue their service, but it was quickly not used because it often gave away their positioning.